I am the Dollar Sportsman. Thank you so much for watching today. I have got the new Umarex Iconix, a very, very budget-friendly PCP rifle designed for pumping if you don't want to buy a tank. So let's get into it. Guys, a very special thank you to Utah Airguns, which is where I am now, for sponsoring our channel. They're great, we love those guys, and they let me use their range all the time to do these videos. And you can see, this is a super cool range, out to 35 yards. You've got all sorts of metal targets out there that you can just shoot to your heart's content. Very fun, you can try new guns if you come in here. They have sponsored all of my competition guns for the last few years, and they all work a dream. So, if you want to check it out, you should really get a chance to come here to Orem, Utah and check it out. If you can't, go to utahairguns.com, there's a link below. Also, a very special thank you to Zan Projectiles for being super cool and making really great slugs, which I use for hunting, for competition, for plinking around, for doing crazy stuff, because it's fun. And you can pick some up here at Utah Airguns, or there is also a link below, zanprojectiles.com. Their shipping is lightning fast. I've been thoroughly impressed, and especially considering the fact that they're shipping from so far away. They get here quick. Super cool. So, check that out. Guys, the Iconix is a new PCP unregulated rifle that's come out recently, Airgun. And Umarex came out with this because they were looking for something that's very budget friendly that you don't need a tank specifically. So you can see on here that they've got their tank up here. It's very small. Gets about, they claim on the box, 25 shots. We'll test that and confirm. But as this goes, I'm excited to see the power behind this thing. They claim 1050 feet per second with lead pellets. Now realistically, guys, you really want to go that fast with a pellet, not to distance, but this, I'm not going to say that this is designed for long distance shots. I think this is going to be your backyard plinker, and especially for training kids on how to shoot. This is probably going to be a good option for that. And we're going to test that and see how it runs and how it feels. Now, a couple of things about this. It does come with two 10-round mags, which is nice. These are standard Umarex mags, as well as a single-shot tray. The trigger is not adjustable. Again, this is budget-friendly, so unlikely to be adjustable. Side lever, which is great. Glad they included that. It is a fill probe, which, if you guys know, we're not big fans of fill probes because they get lost very easily. So what I do with mine is I stick them where they go. Make sure it snaps all the way in, by the way. If you don't do that, air will start coming out. It'll be really annoying. So make sure you snap it all the way in. And then I just leave it there, generally. Now granted, this could get hooked on something. So by the time you're done, you may want to remove it. I'm not telling you what to do. Me personally, I like to leave it there. This does have a dust cover, though, to flip over to prevent any dust from getting inside your tank or any other grit and crap that you really don't want in there. So if the fill probe is out, flip that dust cover over. There is also a degas port right here. Make sure that that is screwed all the way in so that it doesn't start leaking from the factory. I didn't have that issue, but I torqued it down before I started just to be sure. Just saying. Good ergonomics. It feels kind of like a shotgun ergonomic here. All plastic, of course, budget-friendly option. There's not too much else to that. It does have the safety here, so you can pull back, and now it is on safe. And then if you want, you can shove it forward with your finger. Now, it's a nice setup for your youth shooting, if you want to make sure that they have that available that they can just shove forward. Stock is very standard. It is a little low back here, as you can see. The stock sits low compared to the rest of the rifle. And I think that this Athlon scope, this 4x20 Helos that we've got on here, is probably overkill for this. I think this is more designed for a red dot of some kind. So I've used Axion red dots and reflex sights before. And that's probably going to be more the range of what you're looking for the Iconix. But to show you what it can do, I brought out the scope just to see what kind of accuracy we can get at 35 yards. Now, I don't know how many of you have a backyard that is 35 yards deep. If you do, kudos. Or if you got land or whatever, that's great. 35 yards is probably going to be your max engagement distance for things like birds and whatnot with this rifle. Now again, It could go further. You could take it out further than that. My range maxes at 35 yards today. And so we're going to test and see what sort of accuracy we can get. The trigger is not adjustable. While I was sighting this in, I will say it is the heaviest trigger that I've ever felt in any air gun. So you may need to work on your shooting with that, and that might be a disadvantage when teaching youth. Or it could be an advantage to make sure that they don't have any errant shots. I'll let you decide on that. So let's get into it and see how it shoots at 35 yards, what sort of groups we get, and what sort of speeds we get. All right, here we go. Now guys, keep in mind, my scope is too high for this gun. I can't comfortably get my cheek on it down here and be able to look through the scope. I would say that this particular design could use a cheek riser back here. That would make it a lot easier. So if you put a little $30, cheek riser on the back, good call. Or you can get lower rings. I don't think lower rings will actually fix the entire issue though. So you may need to raise that up just a bit. Or use a red dot. All right, here we go. I've sighted it in, kinda, sorta. Let's aim for that top left target. 1003. Filled to 3000, so we're just gonna keep going here. Nice, 995. 992. 988. May have jerked it. There we go. 978, that's better. So the trigger itself is heavy. Stupid heavy, like crazy heavy. So just keep that in mind. You're not going to be doing any long range precision with a trigger that heavy. There we go, 975. Okay, you can tell that I clearly jerked one. Not bad, 965, okay. Let's go through, finish the mag. 957. 947. And 33. Okay, so this is unregulated. 35 yards, very good consistency, except for the fact that it's really easy to pull and yank. I yanked a couple of them. Could have been a pellet, had a different skirt that was kind of screwed up. Could have been me. It's probably me because of how heavy that trigger is. As budget-friendly PCPs go, though, I'm quite impressed that we had a 70 FPS spread because it's unregulated and yet still maintain that same group. Not bad. 35 yards with this is quite impressive for a budget-friendly little gun. So let's keep going. Got one more mag here. We're going to keep watching and see how the speed drops off. So let's just keep going. Okay. Bottom left target. Very consistent. 923. 910. 900. Okay, you're starting to see it drop. Or maybe I just pulled it. But it is, the entire group is moving generally lower as it's lowering the speed. 881. 65. 849. Jerk that one. 837. 821, last shot. 801. Okay, so in two mags we've come down 200 feet per second. I think the consistency starts to level off after shot 15. And that's when we've started to see a consistent movement downward. Otherwise, everything else was pretty much in the same spot, which is pretty impressive. And we are just about at 1200 PSI. 1200 PSI, 20 shots, 2 full mags. 1200 PSI, it is time to refill. 200 feet per second drop in 20 shots. All right, y'all, we've done the accuracy review. Let's see if I've been able to adjust that scope properly. Okay, still a little high and left, that's all right. All right, let's just take a shot at a few of these aminals on the ground here. Here we go. Impact. 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 Might have hit the bar in front of that one. Not entirely sure. Man, that is hitting hard. Okay, that's fun. That's really fun. The faster you use this trigger, the better it feels. As I'm slowly pulling to get those precision shots at the target, it feels heavy as all get out. But as I'm just shooting at little animal targets, works way better. Just saying. Feels more accurate, feels better. So there we go. There we have it, guys. All in all, for a budget-friendly PCP, this is an interesting gun. However, Umarex has come out with other budget-friendly PCPs, and I'm hard-pressed to recommend this beyond the Nodos. And if you guys have seen my channel at all, you know that the Nodos is one of my absolute favorites that they've come out with. This has more shots and much more power. The Nodos is only like 750 max feet per second, and you're getting, I guess, about the same, 20-ish, 21 shots. But this has far more power. We're starting at 1,000. We're going down to 800, but it is unregulated. So if you prefer regulated, I would say the Nodos beats this, even though it's going slower, because it's just got some pristine work to it. However, if you want more power, unregulated and super easy to pump up, then the Iconix is going to be the way to go, because you're never going to get the same amount of power out of the Nodos that you are out of this. 1,000 feet per second with a pellet, a 15.9 grain pellet, is really impressive. Now, I did use the atomic pellets for our testing today specifically because this is going to be a hunter and a plinker. And the atomics and the Hades pellets are the absolute best, most easily like bulk ammo ready available to hunt. In my opinion, there are other wonderful ones, wonderful hunting pellets that you can try for yourself and see if there's one that your gun likes better or not. 100%. H&N makes a ton of different kinds, so you can try that. Just for ease of use in bulk though, 500 round tins, I buy these because they work. There you have it. The only other thing that I would say is you're going to have to do something about the cheek riser. Again, my scope rings are high. I could bring those down and that would help significantly. You can see as I'm shooting, I've got my chin where my cheek is supposed to go. That makes a big difference. So either mount a red dot to it, lower your scope. I've just run out of rings. That's why I didn't have them on today. I only have tall rings right now, although I could pick some up from Utah Airgun since I'm sitting here. Well guys, I'm the Dollar Sportsman. Thank you so much for watching. One last note for design, Picatinny rail, 100% way to go. No more friggin' dovetails, guys. Don't put those on budget-friendly air guns anymore. Nobody likes those. Nobody. I can't speak for anybody, but I'm speaking for me. Nobody likes those. There you go. Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, all the good things, all the good things. Power, you're going to have more power out of this. It's a budget-friendly option. Unregulated, so keep that in mind. But even after 20 shots, we still had more power out of this than we did out of the Nodos. Although, I just personally am a big fan of the Nodos, so I kind of like that one better. There you have it. If you're pumping, check it out. I'm the Dollar Sportsman. And cut.